Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Mondays with Michelle video. This week, we're taking a look at some of the resources stored on the Flickr photo sharing website. It's used by genealogy societies, museums, archives, and even cemeteries to share photos and images of historical documents. Let's get started. Basically, Flickr is a photo sharing website. So people can create a free account. You can upload up to, I believe, 1,000 photos, and you can set different privacy settings if you want to restrict it just to friends or family versus the general public. The default is anything gets set to shareable to the general public. They do have paid accounts which remove that 1,000 photo restriction and give you other options, including removing ads. So what I wanted to show you is some of the resources that are available, because as you can see from this homepage, there are tens of billions of photos and 2 million groups. So if we take a look at how to find information on this site, at the top here, you have search field, and you can type in places, names of groups that have a presence on Flickr. So what I'm going to show you, for example, I just have some already set up. I searched for Family History Society, and you can just press enter or click the magnifying glass to search, or when you type something in, you can choose selectively just to search photos, search people, search groups. So all I did was typed Family History Society, clicked the magnifying glass, and what you are seeing here under people is a list of societies that have a presence on Flickr. I could also click groups and see another list. So these are all groups or individuals who have set up accounts and uploaded content to Flickr. And I found you have to kind of check both categories. So when you search, whether it defaults to photos, which is just the list of all photos that would match the search term Family History Society, clicking on the People tab will give you some of the sites. Clicking on groups will give you some of the sites. So if we click on people, the one I'm going to show you is Northwest Kent Family History Society. And this is one of the societies that I belong to. So I happen to know they have a very large Flickr presence. They have more than 3,000 photos. And when you are looking at a particular Flickr account, if you will, this About tab is going to give you some information that they have put in about their Flickr site. There will be sometimes different categories. This showcase is just showing a sample of their images. They've got a most popular photos, various other categories. Photo stream is basically every single image that they have on the site. So what I find I tend to go to is albums, because you can then see the collections of documents organized logically. And When you think of Flickr, a lot of people think of photographs, but what a number of family history societies and other organizations are doing is they are actually loading images of documents so that you can see here, acknowledgement of deeds by married women, 19th century. There are 347 photos, and these are the actual images of those documents. And you can use these right and left arrows to scroll through the images. You can display it in full screen if you wanted to. So some of the societies, as I said, are using Flickr as a way to make available documents that have been in individuals' private collection that they have given permission to share more widely. So that's the Northwest Kent Society. There are also quite a few archives. So I typed and searched on the word archive. Here we've got State Archives of North Carolina in Raleigh. We have Olmsted Archives. We've got New South Wales Archives in Australia. So that's the other nice thing. It is a way of connecting with organizations worldwide. Some of them have extensive Flickr collections. Some of them just have a small number. And once again, this is under the People tab. I also click the Group tab to see what is set up under the Group tab. There is a London Pubs archive, for instance. Now, under the archive, one of the archives I found and clicked on was the National Archives of the UK. And they don't have a lot of photos up on Flickr. There's 69 photos, but again, it is another resource. And if you look through, they have information on the Battle of the Somme, evacuating prisoners of war. They've got photos from their suffragette collection. So you never know what you might find. And if I just click through some of the other sites that I bookmarked. So here is the Northumberland Archives. They have marriage settlement documents, 5 photos. They have various patient files from that particular sanatorium. They've got information and photos for the Northumberland Fusiliers and various World War I images and resources. So there are a lot of really interesting resources, both photographs as well as images of documents available on some of these archive sites. Manchester Archive, similar thing, a wealth of historical photographs, 616 in this Town Hall Photographers collection. All these documents. And similarly, this is the Cheshire Archive, I believe. Let me just go back up. If we scroll down, we've got treasured possessions. We've got information and photos on the Chester jail. So if we click that one, we have information on prisoners, jailer. We have a little diagram. We've got various documents. I also typed in a search for museums. We have the Smithsonian. We have the Worcester Art Museum, Jewish Museum. There are museums from Amsterdam, museums all over the world. I found actually a museum in North Vancouver, which is where I grew up. So even small towns can have a Flickr presence. There are a lot of Flickr albums relating to World War I, which is what I searched on here. So under groups, you have the Great War Archive. You have archives about the different battles. Under the people link, there happens to be just one, the Hawaii World War I Centennial. So in this category, most of them are under the groups. We have British War Memorials. We have London at War. There's a Flickr album for Commonwealth war graves. And this is the Great War Archive Flickr group. Now this one, you'll notice it's a bit different. Because it's set up as a group, instead of photo albums, we have discussions. And if we scroll down, it's kind of like a forum. So you could click on one of the entries and read what's been written. And a lot of times these discussions may have links to other sites or other topics. They have their list of photos, which you can go through. And it will also show, in this case, you have to sign in. You have to actually join the group to be able to access other information. And they have a map that is linking, I believe it's their pictures. Now, another term I searched on was cemetery. And some of the cemetery websites have really useful information, and you can see, again, a very large number of sites that are listed, and these are worldwide. If we click on groups, we have a different set of categories. So between these two, you will find quite a few different sites covered. Here's one for Yorkshire cemeteries. Here's one for London cemeteries. And in fact, here is the Yorkshire cemeteries site. So if we look at discussions, there is a thread on St. Peter's Church and information about St. Peter's Church. There are photos, says they have over 3,000 photos that you can take a look at. And there are a number of the headstones and the memorials that somebody has posted pictures. So again, this particular resource, it is worth looking at. It's worth searching on to see whether there is something that can help you with your research. So I'd encourage you to use it to type in and search not just on Family History Society, on genealogy, cemetery. You can search on those keywords. You could search on a place name to see what local history organizations may have posted images that could help you, because as you've seen, we're not talking just photographs. It could be images of marriage licenses, of birth certificates, of other documents that would be of interest to us as genealogists. So we've talked about how to search for particular organizations like genealogy societies or archives or cemeteries, and then look at the different photos or images that they have uploaded to Flickr. But let's now take a look at how we could search for one of our ancestors. So for example, if I were to type in John Renton, just like this, that's going to give me every photo that either has the word John linked to it or the word Renton linked to it, which means I'm going to get every photo of the town of Renton, Washington. So that's not what I want. But if I put double quotes around my search phrase, so if I retype this and put double quotes and now press enter, I am getting everything that specifically is linked to John Renton. So if I take a look at this particular entry, it's actually looks like a headstone for some members of the Renton family. You can also do an advanced search by clicking this word advanced and these little arrows. And this will let you search by minimum size, by the date taken, by the type of content. So you can have some additional settings here. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Don't forget to download the handout. You'll find the link in the video description at the bottom of your screen. You may have to click more to see the handout links. Thanks for watching.